Okay, so this is like the fourth or fifth time I've made this video. So let's just, let's get it on. Let's talk about some things. So first, let me introduce myself. A lot of y'all may be new to my channel, may be new to finding me, and a lot of y'all might actually just be followers who remember me. I am Pooh the High Empress. I'm a tarot reader. I'm very good at what I do. A lot of people love me. A lot of people love the readings that I provide, the guidance that I give. And there's some people that just ain't my cup of tea, or I ain't their cup of tea. And I think that's what led to me getting taken down on some of my platforms. So I was taken off YouTube. Somebody reported one of my videos as if it was child pornography. I don't know how. I know how, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if you watch the video, it's like, I don't know how. Long story short, there was a child who had access to my YouTube and posted a video just literally smiling and giggling without a shirt on. It was a little boy. I had no idea that this was uploaded. I deleted it as soon as I found out. But, the YouTube police still decided to cancel me off of YouTube, and I was thriving. I was at over 1,000 followers. I had multiple likes. This was this is one of my standing profiles. I was taken down off of Twitter at some point in time. Kept getting into arguments with people. And people was reporting me. And yeah, the Twitter police took me down. I was on TikTok. I have I don't really want to not call this person a friend, but, being realistic, I had an associate that is well known. And my affiliation with this person led to some people that do not like this person to come and report my page on TikTok, and I was taken down. I have since rebranded on pretty much everything, so don't boo-hoo for me because I'm cool, I'm okay. I probably needed that break. That probably was really my spiritual team sitting my ass down because I was overworking myself at the time, trying to do tarot and have a regular 9 to 5. And I have been getting the break that I needed. So, like I said, I've rebranded pretty much everywhere. So not Facebook, but Twitter, TikTok, and now YouTube. But in me rebranding, I've been a little bit different and a little bit quiet. That's because I have battled COVID, and I'm now battling what's called long haulers COVID. So long haulers COVID, and I will probably try to insert a snippet, is I will call it a disease because it is a dis-ease. It causes you to be at dis-eased, where the symptoms from COVID linger within your body. So some people have muscle tremors, some people have heart issues, some people have respiratory concerns, some people have neurological issues. And for me, I'm suffering with the neurological issues. I suffer with some other issues here and there, but it's not it's not as severe as the neurological stuff. So I got sick with COVID September of 2021. And when I got sick, I basically felt like I was alone, because one, I was hoping it's not COVID. I really hope that it's not COVID because I don't want to be sick. I don't want to have COVID have ran through me, And, when I finally decided to get up and go to the hospital, because I had called off, I think maybe once or twice. And when I did that, when that happened, I was like, yeah, I'm at my wit's end. Because for me to call off and be like, I'm sick, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a big thing for me because I don't really like giving myself this pity party or something to wallow in, you know? Like, I am the strong friend. I'm the strong, reliable, dependable person in your life. That's me. So, you know, to be in a space where, like, I needed help, where I was, like, incapacitated in some way, it's like, that ain't it. So, I went to urgent care, and y'all, my heart rate was like in the 130s. That's dangerous. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's dangerous, you know. I couldn't breathe. Like my lungs were like just, you know, dried the hell up. Them motherfuckers not moving. And you know, I knew something was wrong. I knew it was more than this sinus infection, which I thought it was because like for like I don't want to say a week. It was like maybe like it had to be like five or 6 days. So it was like right there at the weak point where I felt like I was like literally breathing in chlorine every time I was breathing. Like, not on some like, oh, I went too far under in the pool and I got chlorine on my nose. No, like, it felt like they had locked me in a room and just turned on chlorine and was like, bitch, breathe it. Breathe it. Breathe it, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I felt. So I was just like, something got to be wrong because what the hell? My body was hurting. I just, like, I couldn't move. I had no energy. I couldn't do nothing. And I got up and I went to the hospital, like I said. I mean, to urgent care, like I said. So from there, the lady was like, the nurse was like, you need to go to the ER. I'm wheeling you over right now. La, 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 la. So I'm like, okay. So she wheels me over to the emergency room. And mind y'all, I'm just like, it's not gonna be one of those. They gonna be like, you can go home, girl. Ain't that wrong? That lady came, that doctor, she came in that room and she was like, this sounds like COVID. And I was like, COVID? Like, insert dramatic dun 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 dun. And she was like, and I think we need to check to see if you have any other respiratory issues going on. Da 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 da. So I'm like, okay, it is what it is. Y'all, they came back with them swabs and it was like, it's definitely COVID. And you also have pneumonia. So we need to do these CAT scans. We need to do this, da 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 da. They found, I don't know if you can see if my neck looks like any, like if it looks bulging or anything like that, but on this side of my thyroid, they found 2 nodules and they found one in the middle. So they found 3 nodules on my thyroid. Luckily, they were benign, but they are giving me problems. Like I have lost a lot of hair. My weight has been up and down. I'm having voice changes sometimes. They want to contribute it to acid reflux since the biopsies were benign, but I know I'm having issues with my thyroid. And, you know, I'm not here to argue with no doctor. I'm not here to go against nobody's medical degree. But anyways, so I was hospitalized. I actually didn't find out about the thyroid nodules until like almost a month and a half later. And they could have told me that because even though COVID was serious, so the hell is cancer. And I could have got that biopsy done while I was in the damn hospital. But anyways, so, you know, I was hospitalized for like 3 days. And the only reason why it was 3 days instead of like, it should have been longer. But I was just really afraid of leaving my son unattended. No, he wasn't home by himself. Wasn't no situation like that. My son, first of all, my mom passed away when I was 3, and she passed away in a hospital after surgery. Basically what happened was the surgeon nicked her kidney. I don't know if that was like, if he sewed her back up intentionally, like fuck that shit, or if he didn't know and sewed her back up and didn't know that she was like internally bleeding to death. Over the course of about, what was it, like 9 or 10 days, my mother bled to death internally while complaining and asking for help, asking for somebody to check her out. They refused. They told her that it was normal to feel the way she felt after surgery. That was also about 10 days after her birthday that she passed away. So, you know, a lot. So it gives me like this over the top anxiety, over the top, fear of like abandoning my child. My son's father passed away 5 years ago. My mom and my son's father they actually died in the same month. So it kind of gives me and my son a bond when it comes to that, but it also doesn't. Because it's two different situations, two different feelings of loss and all that other stuff. But it makes me act a certain way, even about myself, because I had to come home for him because we were nearing his father's death anniversary at the time that I was in the hospital. And the one thing I felt I couldn't do was be away from him on a day that he might need me the most, or, you know, even if I can't cover him, you know, I'm here. So yeah, that was really important to me. So I had to come home. And y'all excuse me if I start crying because I feel myself getting there, but you know, I'm trying not to. So yeah, I'm home now. I get past my quarantine. I'm not 100% feeling better, but I don't feel worse. You know, it just feels like, you know, like things are like tapering off. Like the wheeziness, the upper body weakness. Like I was still having like delirium and memory loss to the point like I locked myself out of the house. I was having cognitive issues and all that other stuff, but it was just like, you know, it takes a little minute for COVID to really come about your body. Especially with the fact that they pumped me with steroids because my lungs, you know. So I go on my trip that has been planned for over 2 years. I went to Miami for Carnival. And if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't miss Carnival. You do not miss Carnival. Like, it wasn't even to put my health aside. It was really like, okay, I'm feeling well enough to go to Carnival. So, like, I'm going to go. And I'm off quarantine. I have a negative COVID result now. I'm good to go. Like I said, y'all, I really wasn't having no issues for real. Like, I wasn't feeling like I couldn't breathe. Like, it was hard to breathe. I still needed my inhaler. The memory loss wasn't like the worst thing in the world. I had got to the point where it was like, after I locked myself at the house, I was like, write down everything. Every little thing I'm supposed to do, record it, write it down, something. Get it in your brain because you're going to forget. At least for right now. So, we went to Miami, y'all. First day or so, I'm having a blast. Okay, I'm happy. I'm feeling good. And then we went to a party. And I felt like I was going to pass out the whole party. And I was just like, you know, what in the world? Like, this is not me. Like, I'm not no party animal, but I'm not drunk. I've drank some water. It's hot, but it ain't blazing. Like, what am I supposed to do? So I was like, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to no more parties or whatever. I think I'm going to chill because I came out here for Carnival and I'm going to put this costume on that cost me all this money that I paid for months ago and I would have lost out on. You know, this would have been a second time having to ship me off my costume. So I'm like, let me just chill because I don't want to burn myself out. I wanted to go to Juve. I wanted to go to Carnival. So the morning of Carnival, of Juve, my bad, I go into this full-blown panic attack. Like, to the point I was in the lobby. I thought I was having a seizure in the lobby. I calmed down. Me and my friend had this whole tidbit of, like, you know, what I'm really going through. Should I go to the hospital? Should I go to the hospital? We come home, and, like, my delirium was just off the wall. And I just remember feeling like I cannot die and my son haven't seen me, you know, or like I haven't been next to my son. I'm like, it would be so selfish of me to die out here in Miami, and he don't have no one to, like, take care of him, love him, do it. You know, like, it's not like we just don't have no family at all, but, you know, ain't nothing like a mother's love. And all I remember is, like, I jumped up and I was just like, I think I need to go to the hospital. And I sat back down. I was like, no, I'm going to just go to sleep. And my friend was like, this is like the umpteenth time you said this, we're going to the hospital. I'm about to find us a hospital to go to. And all I remember was just, like, pure, oh my God, what the hell? We get to the hospital, and we walked through the door, and it was like something snapped or flipped in me when we got through the door. And I just literally, I went into this, like, I don't even really want to say what I know it was, but it was a lot of delirium. We just gonna use medical terms here. It was delirium. And all I remember is, like, you know, at some point they drugged me with Latuda, which means that they thought that I was schizophrenic. I don't even remember half the stuff that I was doing or talking about. I remember, like, when I came 2 days later, I was looking at all the text messages, the calls, and all the other stuff that I was doing. And if you was one of the people that I called, whatever I said to you, I was very sincere in that. I meant what I said because I was out of my mind. And I was in a state where it was like, let me speak my piece. So whatever I said, I meant it. However, I don't think I would have said it in a conscious mind. But anyways, that's just, you know, the part of the journey before I found out that I had long haulers COVID. So, when I came home, you know, afterwards, they was just like, you know, you really need to follow up with physicians in your hometown, da 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 da. So I did, and everybody, like, even my son's pediatrician, who used to be my pediatrician, she was like, this sounds like long haulers COVID, and you need to go get checked out for that. And I was like, long COVID, what the fuck is that? Or she called it long COVID, and I was like, what the fuck is that? So lo and behold, there's an actual clinic called the Comprehensive COVID Clinic here at Northwestern. And I was like, okay, what is this? And I saw my primary, I saw a neurologist, they set me up with a psychiatrist. And long story short, my anxiety and my depression has now heightened to a new level, to the point that I'm on medication, which is new for me, which is different for me. I have cognitive issues. So, like, I have brain fog. Sometimes I don't know where I am. I don't know what I'm talking about. So, like, if you're watching me in my content, even in this video, like, if you see me kind of doing shit like this, like, that's because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, and I have to find landmarks to bring myself back. I have memory loss. It's quite so short term. So if you tell me something and it's important, make sure I write it down. Make sure I know what you're talking about. But one of the things with my anxiety and my depression, like, my depression is at an all-time high, to the point I don't want to talk to people some days. And the people that I do want to talk to, it's a very limited few. My anxiety is so bad that, like, at a point in time, I was unable to take medication of any form because I thought it was going to kill me in my sleep, and I am terrified of dying. It's ridiculous, and this is all a part of COVID. This is what COVID has done to me. This is what COVID has taken me through. A lot of times I feel very alone. I feel like I don't necessarily like want to myself, but I don't understand why I'm here. I don't understand my purpose. I don't see how I'm fulfilling it. A lot of times I don't feel worthy. I'm terrified of people, and people don't really know that, like, that I am, like, completely in a space of, like, not being able to trust people, feeling like I have been abandoned, feeling just really hurt. Like, we're not even gonna go into, like, the checklist of, like, what I'm feeling, but the bottom main point is that I feel very alone, and one of the main reasons why I feel so alone, and we're gonna talk about it when we get there, but I want to say this today. I am the dependable friend. My friends call me to talk to me, to tell me what's going on when they need help, when they want somebody to talk to. I am the one who's always giving out advice. I'm usually the one that has her finances in check. So, oh, I got you. I'll cover you. Da 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 da. Oh, don't worry about paying me for that. It's cool. I'm okay. And that's actually one of the things that they are realizing is what brings on long COVID or long haulers COVID is people with very stressful and demanding lives, like demanding roles in lives. I'm a single parent. Like I said, I am the strong friend. I'm the dependable friend. Everyone turns to me when they need something. And it's not even like I mind, but taking on that role for so many people is what's like pulling me down to my own demise. Like, it is slowly but surely stressing me the hell out, and possibly, I don't want to say killing me, but it's just like, it's bringing me down. Let's just say that, because I don't want to talk about death. I'm fearful of death. Which is why I feel so alone, because it's hard when everybody comes to you because you'll understand, but you woke up that morning feeling like, I don't feel worthy of being here. I need a hug. I need to feel loved. I want to feel loved. I want to be recognized. Like, I need help today, I got other factors going on. Like, like, y'all know my job not paying me. I am not getting workers' comp, even though I caught COVID at work. Crazy, right? I've been off of work since September. And I have no idea when I'm going to be able to go back to work, because ain't nothing really getting better. It's like, it's not even being maintained right now. It's just up in the air. I have so much stress on my heart and on my plate right now. One of my biggest stressors is, I guess, imposter syndrome, and what imposter syndrome is doing to me and what it's taking me through. Because, like, even though I know I'm a good reader, I've been having a really hard time pulling myself to feel worthy of, like, getting on live and doing live and waiting on clients to come in and waiting on clientele to come in. It's been the people that have been with me before all of this happened, like from the day that I've started doing everything professionally. And it's just like, I don't know, sometimes I just don't feel worthy. So, that's been hard, but that's my main source of income right now. And the fact that I can't make no money until I get on live or till people book and live is how people see if they really want to book or not, right? I'm struggling, and it's heartbreaking because, you know, my son's birthday is about 2 weeks out, and I don't know how that's gonna get covered. I'm trying to break through this anxiety. I'm trying to break through this depression. I'm trying to break through the way I feel about myself, the way I feel about my worthiness, and it just ain't there. And you know, that's hard. That's really hard to like even like really accept and deal with in its like entirety. And one of the main reasons why I decided to make this video is because today especially I'm going through like a depressive phase. My diabetes is just completely out of whack. It's completely out of control. Even with all the insulin that I'm pumping myself with, it's not working. And I feel like a failure. I feel like a failure because I can't get my fucking life under control. And I know that like a big part of this is the unnecessary, unexpected stress that my body is going through because of this stupid ass COVID shit. And just like the overall added pressures of life. And I was just like, I have not been productive in days, and I gotta do something. I gotta make some type of content, right? And I decided, you know, like today of all days would be a good day to reset and restart my brand when it comes to YouTube. Now, we're not talking about everything else I did that. I'm just, you know, it just is what it is. But when it comes to this whole YouTube thing, you know, I really do want to get back to YouTube because I loved it and I know y'all love me too. You know, I am going to be doing a lot of videos talking about my journey and talking about some of the things that, you know, come up for me that I'm thinking about. Because this has been definitely, like, it's been a journey. You know, so, like, even down to the point of, like, relationships and people that I had to take out of my life around this time, like, it's been ridiculous. Like, it's been ridiculous. And it's been something that, like, I've had to cope with. And I feel like I cope with it alone. Yeah, I feel very alone coping with this. And this is not to, like, make anyone that feels very close to me feel bad or feel like, you know, like they've been a burden. But it's my real feelings. And I feel like, you know, I'm in these support groups or whatever for COVID on Facebook. I'm blocked from posting in groups, talking on groups right now because of something like, you know how they be pulling that community guidelines mess. So, and for the record, I ain't saying nothing crazy to nobody. I just used a word that they thought meant I chose violence, and I was just like, unlock my page. And they didn't. Bastard. Anyways, and like I'm in these support groups on Facebook, and I'm looking through one of the groups, and it's colored people on the talking, you know, the palm colored people. And they're talking about their struggles with long college COVID and, you know, like how their hair is falling out. My hair fell out real bad too. How like the memory loss, the cognitive issues, the appetite issues, the weight issues, you know, other organs in their body that were attacked when their body was like, you know, at its lowest point. Some of them even talk about how, like, you know, they have autoimmune disorders now or even before COVID that like make this whole journey 10 times worse. I was diagnosed with diabetes in 2017. I really thought I could get my stress levels under control and get it together with diet and exercise. but my stress was just taking over, and it just never really got back on track the way it should have. And it's one of the main reasons why it's so out of whack right now too. But you know, it makes me think about how different it is to be a Black woman dealing with medical issues, especially medical issues that they haven't really figured out yet, because they don't understand long haulers COVID. Like, they don't get it. It's not making sense to them. They don't know what causes it. They don't know how to, like, effectively treat it. They don't know how to cure it, right? Like, there's no magic pill that they're like, all right, you're going to have to take this for the next 6-7 years or the rest of your life, and, you know, your long haulers COVID symptoms will kind of just quiet down. They don't know. They're like, try therapy, try this, do that. Okay, we're going to run this test. And for a lot of us, those tests always come back clear. But you don't have any symptoms, right? Like, this stuff be happening in front of them. And they will sit you down and be like, let's do a blood test. And the blood test come back, you know, with a normal range. Let's do an MRI, and the MRI comes back normal. And it's like, what the hell? What's going on? But one of the things that, and this is going to be like my last statement in this video. One of the things is that as a Black woman, healthcare is very traumatic for me, especially when it comes to neurological healthcare and psychiatric healthcare. And the reason why I say this is because, you know, as a Black woman, I have tremendous trauma to unpack. I have tremendous trauma that I have went through as a little girl, not just from my mother passing away when I was 3, but just I was sexually assaulted not once, but you know, like that one period in time in my life when I was about, like, I think 4 or 5, and that went on for a nice amount of time. And then I was sexually assaulted again when I was a junior in high school. I have been abandoned. I have been out on my own. I've been homeless multiple times. I've been through the ringer. I've also had, like, wonderful accomplishments. But the point of me bringing this up is that, like, when you have those traumas, it's almost like as if you signed a waiver to, like, this is not regular. This is not what's supposed to happen in my life. Lock me up. I'm crazy. Medicate me. I want to be asleep most of the time. I want to be out of my mind most of the time. I want to not know where I am most of the time. I want to, you know, be foggy as hell to the point, like, I see a little bit, but I don't see enough. You know, that's what they think. So when you're telling them your story, when you're telling them the things that, you know, could or could not be affecting this, it's like, oh, you need sertraline. Oh, you need Xanax. Oh my God. You got all that anxiety. And it's like, even in certain things that I'm telling them, like, about, like, how certain relationships in my life had ended after COVID. And it's just like, well, why do you think that's happening? Like, y'all, like, let me give y'all a prime example, because I don't want to talk about the relationships. So I'm sitting here on my couch, getting ready to make a TikTok. And I hear my front door jiggle, like as if somebody was putting a key in. Don't nobody live with me, and my son was at school. All I remember is I jumped up, and I'm like, who the fuck is it? Da, da, da. And it was somebody from the building. And what was alarming was, you know, he said, like, oh, I had a package for you. And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking to myself, like, well, where's the package? So, you know, my flight or fight, protect yourself. This could become anything. You don't know what was going on. You don't know why it was happening this way. That instinct kicked in, right? And I'm just like, okay, let me get this person back on their day, on their merry little way, because I don't know what the hell is going on, right? So I explained that to them, to the psychiatrist or the psychiatry team. So I'm seeing a team. And their thought was like, well, you know, do you think this person is out to get you? And I'm like, no, I just thought I needed to protect myself. And I'm like, well, what were you going to do? I don't know. But I was going to do something because I'm not done. I'm not going nowhere. You know, and it was just like, y'all see how, like, that situation was what it was. And they first thing is like, is this something up in your head telling you that something else is going on? And that's a normal situation. Like, first of all, I may live in a good area in Chicago, but I still live in Chicago, and I still live like 1 or 2 blocks away from a not necessarily like a bad neighborhood, but you know, it ain't. I ain't living in the palm color folks area. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying. My point to say is this: Black women for healthcare is very similar to Black men with police situations. You know what I'm saying? They treat us the same. They don't believe us when we tell them like real traumatic stories, and you know, like these people are doing this evaluation on me, and they just like, well, how do you feel about all the things that you went through? I mean, it's not life, but it was my life. You know what I'm saying? And we push past that shit. Ain't nothing I could do to change it. Ain't nothing I could do to make it different. I went through way worse situations than what I'm going through right now. And I made it through that. It was hard. I deal with stress decently. You know, I be hurt behind a lot of things. I feel a type of way sometimes. I'm sad about certain things. Do I feel like people have ulterior motives? Do I feel like people have hidden agendas? Yes. But at the same time, like, that's life. This is what we deal with, you know? But I feel like palm colored people, especially palm colored people in the healthcare industry, they see things their way, right? Because they didn't grow up with some certain trauma, so they don't really understand what it feels like to be put in a place where a family member is inappropriately touching you, or where a family member is whooping your ass because you said no. You know, like, those are things I went through. They're not going to understand that because they didn't have to go through that. They didn't have to go through dropping out of college because people were stealing from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't mean like, girl, she was stealing my shirts or nothing. I mean like stealing, like going into my bank accounts and taking money. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was not rightfully theirs. I dealt with somebody that was supposed to be like a mother figure to me, put me out on the street, not caring where I was finna go, what I was finna do. So, you know, they don't have them dynamics. Now, I'm not saying all palm color folks, but most palm color folks, they don't go through that, especially the ones that sit high and mighty and judge you, like a psychiatric team. And you know, it may not have been of harm or malicious intent in their minds, but it definitely was to me, because now you want to pump me full of all these medications, all these different things, and I'm telling y'all I can't sleep because sometimes I'm afraid that I'm not going to wake up from my sleep. I can't take that medication even though y'all said it's safe, because I think it's going to interact with my body differently. My mother internally bled to death, and that was one thing that really hurt my feelings too, because I went into that story and I explained to them, you know, my mother asked for help and she was not given help. She bled to death over a course of days because the nurses, the doctor is like, no, it's a regular thing. And y'all are sitting up here telling me, no, the side effects from that they're not bad. They're not going to kill you. There's not going to be a drug interaction. It's very rare. I think you should really try this. And I'm sitting up here telling you, them people pacified and pushed my mama off, and she ended up dying. But had they would listen to her, you know what I'm saying? And you want me to sit up here and you want to call me crazy? You want to make me believe that, like, my man is wired differently, but I'm explaining to you real life situations. And y'all are telling me, like, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be okay. And, you know, when I first talked about, like, when I first started making these videos, like, I was boohoo crying. Okay? Boohoo crying. because, like I said, I feel very alone. I feel like don't nobody understand me and what I'm going through right now. So I don't even really talk about it with people, and that's becoming very toxic to myself. I got people that I want to talk to, but I can't, because I feel so alone. I feel so out of place right now. And I feel like I'm some type of medical guinea pig right now, because instead of these people taking the time and the moment to help me, they just want to push me off of medication. And when I'm saying it, like, I'm not comfortable with this, people are just like, oh no. And, but then if I was to sit up here and say, like, I don't want to live anymore, or I don't see why I'm still breathing, or, they will want to lock me up in a psychiatric, or, preferably Madden or some shit like that. It's heartbreaking, because if y'all know me, I'm very smart and like a very intelligent woman. I'm very responsible. I'm very dependable. I'm very hardworking, and I feel like I can't do a thing. I feel like I can't do a thing. I feel like I'm empty. I feel like I'm a failure. And I think I said that earlier in this video, but I really feel like I'm a failure. I feel like I'm failing my son, because, like, I have not been able to financially provide for him in the way that, like, either one of us are used to. We just got internet last month because my phone was off. And I was just like, I can't pay this phone bill till Monday, but I could turn this internet on. So let me go and pay this internet bill so we can have something until I can pay our phone bill. This has been a struggle that I don't feel like I deserved, amongst other struggles that I didn't deserve. But it's been one that has just been, like, completely rough, because I feel like I haven't had nobody to really turn to. And that is probably going to offend some people, to say this, because, people don't never really realize that, how selfish they can be, or, like, how concerned about themselves. Because sometimes it's not even selfishness. It's just like, I'm concerned about myself right now. Like, I have things I gotta get done. Like, when you go through a rough moment, you just want somebody to listen to you. You're not really thinking, like, well, what if so and so needed me today, or what if they got something going on? Sometimes people do, it crosses their mind, they're like privy to it, and they address it. But at the same time, a lot of times people are not sitting up here like, let me ask her if she okay. Let me ask her if she need me. Let me ask her, like, and it just hurts my feelings, because I feel like I'm failing myself while providing for everybody else. Failing myself and my kid. Failing myself and my kid. Doing and being there for anybody else. I've been wearing a wig cap for over a month now, because I don't have the strength or the energy to get up and put this wig back on my head. Like, I don't have the strength or the energy to wash it. I don't have the strength or energy to clean my house on a regular basis. It gets clean when I get the time, the energy, or the thought. I don't have the energy or the passion for my craft in the way that I want to. And the only reason why that is because I feel like I'm a failure. I feel like I'm an imposter. I don't feel worthy. I don't feel worthy of life at times. And it's not a thing. It's just more so like, I have been doing the wrong thing my entire life, okay? And I'm gonna talk about this a little bit further on TikTok. Like, I'm gonna go into a whole spiel about it. But one of my teachers from high school, he was my English teacher. I think all but of like my freshman year, so sophomore, junior, and senior year. Yeah, I think so. He had posted under like one of my friends, well, associates, I don't know, y'all know what I mean. He posted it under somebody's post or whatever, and he was talking about quitting smoking or quitting different addictions, and that how every time he tried to quit, he felt like it was a failed attempt. And again, I'm gonna talk about it more on Facebook. I mean, on TikTok. But what I want to leave you all with is what I took from that post was that we are not our failures. Okay. Every time you attempt at something, every time you try, you have done something that is different. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have done your best to beat that failure or that feeling of failure. Like, when you look back at it, right? Like, all the effort you put into it, like, especially something like an addiction, like smoking. That's a hard thing to quit. Y'all gotta excuse me because I knew I was gonna start crying at some point, but I was trying. I was really trying, yeah. But anyways, at some point in time, you have to look back at all the different attempts that you have made and say to yourself, like, damn, at least I tried. You know what I'm saying? And that's all this journey has been for me. Like, I have tried to go to sleep in the nights that I wake up in the middle of the night and I cannot sleep because it's 1,000,001 things running through my mind. Like, how am I going to make this work? How am I going to do this? How am I going to be present? The days where I've sat up here and even though I do not feel like getting on live or talking to people, I have busted my ass for hours in the arenas and made money because we needed things, you know. Me and my son, I have advocated for myself. I have advocated for my son in these times. I have made choices that have changed my dynamic tremendously in a positive way, right? And yes, I was knocked down a lot, and I'm still being knocked down. I'm still going through a lot of different things. I'm still struggling with a lot of different things. But one thing for sure and two things for certain, I have legitimately tried every time. And nothing beats a failure but a try. And I am not any of my failures. I am not any of the things that have set me back. I am not any of the things that have delayed my progress. You know, I'm a human. And every time I tried, I learned something different about that attempt. And again, I'm going to talk about this on TikTok. So hopefully you following me on TikTok. Because by the time you see this video, it's already going to be on TikTok. But best thing I can say is this, right? Every time that I have tried, I've gotten stronger, right? I've pushed myself in therapy. I'm in speech and occupational therapy. I've pushed myself. I've made myself feel like I was going to pass out, but I haven't stopped. And I've learned more about myself. I've learned about what it is I need. I've become more self-aware. I've, been open and honest about, like what I need. And those failed attempts got me where I am now. And I know more and I am more because of all those failed attempts. So at the end of this message is this. It's my new glucose monitor fucking up my tattoo. I'm gonna have to find another place to stick this. But I'm saying this to say you are not your failures. You are the teaching moments within those failed attempts. You are the proud result of perseverance. And as long as that's within you, nothing will stop you. Maybe it may make pauses. It may cause additional time. It may cause additional money. It may cause additional effort. But it will not stop you. And with that being said, lead with love, and love will always follow. If y'all remember me from my old YouTube, that was always my ending. So thank y'all for listening to me. Maybe tomorrow I can upload some content about tarot. And I'll try to do some type of message about this journey, some type of frequency. I gotta figure it out if we're gonna do monthly or weekly. I don't know that I could do weekly. Probably could do monthly. I might do weekly. We're gonna see. But thank y'all for listening to me, and I hope somebody who needed that hears it. That's what I'm manifesting. The people that needed to hear this. And again, if you lead with love, love will follow.